back to the Pursuit of Sound with Double Crown. Yes, this is episode 59, brought to you in part by the one and only Zest Vodka, Charleston, South Carolina based, all natural flavored vodka. Simply the best, as Tina Turner would say. Yeah. Look in your local liquor store for their lemon drop and or lime drop flavor. It's super good. Anyways, it's been a minute and I've been itching to do a podcast. And I don't usually do podcasts solo that often, but tonight's the night. It's been a super busy last month and more at that rate, whole summer. Here we are. It's Friday, October 18, 2024. I just got done with a DJ gig at the Moxie Hotel here in Charleston, South Carolina on Meeting Street. Shout out. Got to DJ the rooftop from 6 till 9. Courtesy Other Brother Entertainment. Wade, I see you. Brian, I see you. Shout outs, all the love from above. Yeah, I just figured it's a good time to check in and let y'all know how things have been going. Check. Yeah, it's been a busy one, busy past month for my band Gods. If y'all don't already know, Gods, Gods with a period at the end. It's me and my best friend Deslin. We used to be a 3-piece band, and now we're a 2-piece band. And yeah, we released our music video for Sunburn recently. Go check it out. It's live on YouTube. It's live on all streaming platforms. The album is coming out soon. That song is featured on. The album's called Alchemy. So we're aiming to release that here soon. We just recorded our first scene for the Voodoo music video. We're trying to release one more music video for the album before the album actually drops. So we're hoping to drop the music video like basically on Halloween. Ideally, and yeah, we've been rushing that. It's been a lot of stuff in the works. Hold on. Hello. Hey.
What's up? When you coming over?
Soon. I'm recording a little podcast right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's just like a quick little podcast.
With who?
It's just by myself, actually. We're live right now.
Oh, we're live right now. Hi, everybody.
Yes, hey. I love you, Han.
Love you. Hope you're pursuing the sound.
Yes, I am pursuing the sound. Perfection. Yeah, I just figured to drop a little 30 to 40 minutes. It's been a while since I've recorded a podcast, and I don't usually do them by myself, but there's been so much happening, and I haven't really been active on social media the past like month to 2 months. So I'm just popping one out real quick for the fam.
Okay, well, I'll see you later then.
Okay, I'll hit you up soon. I love you.
I love you, bye.
Bye. It's my lovely lady. Yeah. Shout outs to her. Princess Bubblegum. Anyways, yeah, so it's been such a non-stop momentum for the past little bit. I just want to clue y'all in on where I'm at. I've been a little off the scene, as you heard in that phone conversation, and yeah, like it's one of those things where you do so much work behind the scenes that it takes a deficit from the social media presence. You know, you got to focus on what's important in the real world first and foremost, and then roll it out to the internet. You know, so yeah, it's just one of those things. Like, I've been really heavy into the wedding gigs lately, courtesy of the Charleston Groove Factory. Shout out to the wedding band I'm in, and Ben Fagan, our band leader, and every band member involved, and our sound guy, Mark. He's the man. Anyways, yeah, it's one of those things where it's like we've been rolling out the band. We've been rolling out the Charleston Groove Factory DJ Duo and the DJ Trio, where it's the main it's literally just me. For the duo, it's me and a saxophonist. And then for the trio, it's me, a saxophonist, and a drummer. And, you know, we sort of put the pedal to the floor to launch all that over this past month-ish. You know, it takes a lot to get that going. You know, you got to have your songs in line. You kind of got to have your musical accompaniment practiced to it all. So the saxophonist, him and I practiced individually at our band leader's house. And then, you know, same difference with the trio. Same saxophonist and the drummer came in. You know, there's a lot of prep work on the back end for launching these things, and it's the natural flow of progression. You know, I have been DJing the clubs here in Charleston for a while now. You know, things started to happen around 2017. Here we are, 2024. It's about 7 years later, and you know, things have sort of naturally progressed from the club scene for me to more of like the wedding scene for me, and it's one of those things, you know. Younger cats are taking over the scene for all the bars here in downtown Charleston, and it's just the way it goes. Everything shifts over time. They come in, I phase out, I get more into the weddings, you know, and that's been like the main priority as of late, along with my band Gods. You know, we started, there's so many side tangents involved here. I'm just going to go with the flow. I don't really do these solo podcasts that often, so bear with me on my clinical ADHD. But yeah, so it's going into, it's been a really heavy wedding season, which is good, you know, and I'm totally there for the special occasion, you know. It's a very special thing to be able to be sort of indoctrinated into being there for one of the most important days of that couple's life, the wedding day. And it takes a lot of prep work to make sure everything is absolutely perfect. But yeah, to wind back to the diligence behind Gods, my band, I started writing for our record that we're about to release. That record is called Alchemy. I started writing for that little over a year ago, believe it or not. You know, it takes a while. We are doing our best to do it ourselves to the most degree, like, as in, you know, for this record we do have a professional engineer, but the things that we're doing ourselves is the behind the scenes work, the videography. We want to create a documentary behind the making of the album, and let all that be seen. It's things like that when I was growing up, I loved to see. I would buy DVDs. I remember Imogen Heap. She is a UK-based artist, legendary. If you don't know her, check her out. Imogen Heap, IMOGEAN space HEAP. Pretty darn sure. Her Ellipse album, I remember I bought this back when DVDs and CDs were still a thing. It was sort of like a double thing. It was like, yeah, you get the CD and also a DVD that has like all these behind the scenes things. I want to sort of encapsulate the influences of where I came from into the modern day, still have that sensibility of being able to dive deeper into who Gods is, who we are as a band, and also get the auditory experience as well as the video and the whole behind the scenes experience as well. So that's been a big undertaking. We're trying to take things one step at a time. We did the Sunburn music video. We have 10 songs on the album. The first song that we released the music video for is Sunburn. It's out there. Anyways, the next one is called Voodoo. We're trying to have that out by Halloween, the whole music video. And then, roughly have the album out by maybe mid-November, if not December. We've been meaning to have it out much sooner than then, but life is a lot, Deslin is a dad. He recently became a homeowner. That was a whole big process. I remember he was going through the whole process while we were on the road to New Jersey and back for Choke Artist Fest. That was a big deal for Gods and the math rock community. That was hosted up in Belmar, New Jersey on behalf of Choke Artists. Shout out Joe and Tommy, everyone involved, all the bands. Legendary experience, to say the least. Super honored to be a part of that. And we're not living it down. So we're trying to do what we can, and things will just get bigger and better as they go on. Although the record isn't out yet, I'm already starting to think about the next set of work and how that could sound. It kind of starts as like a fractal essence of an imaginary idea and refines down into a diamond. We're trying to spread our wings and, kind of get the hype going for the record online as much as we can before the album actually releases, so it isn't a complete and utter flop, where we are we're just a little band from here in Charleston right now, and that's how pretty much all bands start, is just being a local band, and the scene has been shifting. Back in the day, it's like you have to have the approval of all the gatekeepers, record labels and such, to be able to get the bigger platform. Nowadays, anybody can do it, but at the cost of a huge dilution, like oversaturation of content, if you will. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, we can now get our stuff out on all streaming platforms without having to go through a major distribution label to get there, but yeah, at the cost of being obscured by thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not like other artists paying for their stuff to get promoted above us. It's tough. It's not the easiest technically thing to get your music in front of the people who want to hear it, you know. And there's only so much we can do, you know. I'm no social media expert by any means, you know. We are merely musicians, friends, people, and we have to try our best to keep up with everything, you know. Everybody wants to see the most top-notch quality, or else they're just gonna scroll on past, like they could care less, you know. Those things come with time for us, you know. We will be able to just we'll be able to put out higher quality content with due time and diligence, you know. It's tough to get the crew together, to get all the expensive equipment together. You know, that's a whole lot. It's not what it seems from the other side. So these are reasons why, you know, I mean, it's things like this where you kind of go through a crunch of creating content, and then you go through a crunch of flushing out that content. It's ebbs and flows, you know. Life occurs in waves. You know, there's times where I'm like heavier on the content, and then there's times where I'm, you know, dialing it back because I'm working on creating the next rollout of content and trying to visualize that and doing my best, because, you know, there's so much going on, like all this AI stuff, people, you know, caring about the latest trends and whatnot. And it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I want to be, you know, aware of these other things, but to a certain extent, I also kind of have to close myself off and kind of just be a bubble boy, you know. It's like there's so much information coming in from every direction. It's a barraging of content all the time, and it's like I every now and then I have to put the phone down for, you know, a certain amount of time, just prioritize things. Like social media, I will put social media on the back burner for my business and my clients, like day in and day out. Like it's just like that, you know what I mean? Like I gotta live in the real world, and it's tough, you know. These podcasts are my outlet. I love listening to podcasts, and it's a different world that we live in now, and it's weird, you know. While being in bubble mode and work mode, life is actively changing all around me and all around us, you know. And I'm starting to feel old. I just, not to date myself, but I just turned 35 recently, and it's one of those things where it's like, growing up, you think that your parents are so out of touch, and you know what? Maybe they are, maybe they aren't, and you can't hold it against the next person. It's such an evolving world, and especially here in America, you know, having to feel like I got to keep up with certain things to a certain extent. If you live in Costa Rica, the flow is completely different. You know, if you're living in these other areas, things are completely different. I've had the opportunity of traveling around the world and being able to sort of embody a little bit of that flow, where it's like, hey, I'm not trying to be super Americanized all the time. Like, I get it because I had the opportunity to travel a little bit. You know, things are a different pace out in other areas of the world, and you know, it's so easy to just get overwhelmed and all this stuff in the day in and day outs and daily doings. the main focus is to bring good music to the world and sort of tip a hat to where music has come from and sort of make a gesture towards where, we are aiming for the music to go in the future. It's just one of those things. I feel like an old soul. I mean, in the regard that my mom raised me on Motown, golden oldies, these things that at the time I don't know, like you're born and raised into an environment where you're driving around the back seat of the cars with your parents, and they have music on sometimes, and what does that music sound like? What does that music mean to you? It's so subliminal, and it's so direct, though, at the same time. At a young age, I didn't feel like music was going to be the thing for me, but it kind of crept up on me and like took a hold. Like it's just, I love the fact that music is a creation sort of out of thin air. We live in a world that's now in 2024 so like architecturally driven and product driven and materialistically driven, and I was going to be an industrial designer before I sort of came to my wits to come back to my roots on music, because it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I was playing in bands since I was 16. I got my first guitar at 13. Music was a big part of my teenage years, being in bands and stuff and playing all around town, creating original music, all this stuff. But then, you go to college. I mean, I went to college. I kind of dropped out because my heart wasn't there. And it was weird because I just wanted to do my own thing and make it work. But that was back in, when I started going to college, that was 2008. And it was just a completely different sort of stratosphere and landscape as far as everything is concerned. The internet has become a whole nother thing nowadays, and it's simply crazy. So with the advent of the internet and all this other stuff and entertainment becoming more of a thing, I started to be able to get a hold back into music and reintroduce myself into the Charleston local music scene as a DJ, because I found out DJing was a thing. And that's been a great sort of segue into getting my feet back into the water wholeheartedly and starting this music career kind of all over again. And it's one of those things. You can't rush it overnight, it's a lot at once. I'm out here as a music producer for myself as Double Crown. Y'all might know me as my DJ name, that alias Double Crown. You can listen to my music out on all streaming platforms. It's abbreviated down to DBLCRWN. It's like Double Crown without the vowels. So if you want, hit a follow on my Instagram at dbl.crwn. I'm a part of Strawberry Squad, a DJ collective here in Charleston. Follow us on Instagram, Strawberry Squad CHS. Follow my band Gods, at Gods the Band. Just wanted to do a quick little check-in, kind of let y'all know what I'm up to, where my head's at, where I'm trying to go. It's going to be a 2025. It's going to be a big year for Gods. Expect another work of another EP and or album from us in 2025. My head is in sort of the mindset of kind of going into a new realm. Like we went from our first album, Honest, into this next album that's about to drop called Alchemy. It's a good segue. I didn't write the first album. I merely wrote bass parts to all the songs that our previous guitarist wrote, and then the responsibility fell in my lap to write the next record, and that was an undertaking, demoing out all the songs, drums, bass, guitar, all the other stuff, and getting it off the ground and recorded and mixed and mastered to our taste, and being like, feeling like I want so much more for that record, but it's one of those things where you kind of got to settle to a certain extent and move on. Like, there's so much I still want to do with the record, but it's already been over a year now, and we just kind of gotta let it go. If I really have that much more that I want to do with it, maybe that's best saved for another release where it's all it's remixes or whatever. Just one thing at a time. It's kind of hard with being like so like clinically ADHD kind of to be able to balance all these ideas and everything. So if you feel me, can I get a like and subscribe? Maybe smash that like and subscribe, whatever. Drop a comment. Come on, don't leave me hanging. I'm out here trying my best. I want to bring in so many more people onto the podcast. Feel free to hit me up. I'm out here. And it ain't no thing to just have a guest on, but maybe it's the time to sort of instead of relying on guests, which this podcast has kind of been a guest heavy podcast thus far, and maybe get into some more solo podcasts just to keep the momentum going in the interim and kind of let y'all know what I'm doing, where my head's at. I want to release higher quality content front to back. I want to release a bunch of funny stuff. Me and Deslin, the drummer of Gods, we obviously are best friends since we were like 16, 20 years basically. And, we have a little, we started a little sketch duo comedy thing on Instagram called Biracial Brothers. And we've got a lot more in mind for that. Be sure to check us out on Instagram. We barely have anything right now, but the best is yet to come. We've been having to take care of life stuff in the meantime. Once you start to become my age, around 35, a lot of other things start to come into play. Like, I want to get my own house, start to figure out the bigger picture overall. And, I can't necessarily create the best music if I'm not comfortable. And it's a gradient, there's always like a certain amount of stress that will be bared upon whomever. And that always contributes a little bit towards motivation, so I try not to get too overwhelmed and kind of use that as perpetual momentum for the future and stuff. Everything's up, down, all around, up in the air, but grounded at the same time. So, I want to keep up the consistency, keep y'all in the know, keep y'all entertained. Looking to release a lot more content, a lot more DJ mixes, live mixes, because people are out here, and I see stuff online, like on Instagram, whatever, all the time, where people are releasing content, and it's just, not to be like anything, it's not always that great. A lot of this content that people are putting out there is kind of mid, but it's still going viral somehow. It's a lot of those people that are making that style of content, it's like they're not as, I don't know, like, not to be condescending, it's like I'm at that age where it's like I've seen where the internet has evolved. I was around on the internet before Twitter, before Facebook. Like, MySpace was the first social media revolution. I was so heavy into that with me and my friends. It catapulted us, and then now it's a whole new phase of social media, and it's sort of like, I don't know, it's just sort of like blah. Like I said, blah. Like, it's these kids that, like, I don't know, I see stuff out there that's kind of mid, I see stuff out there that's kind of impressive at the same time. So I look on kind of capitalizing on that lack thereof here soon. No hate, all love. And let me think. Just to wrap it up here, I guess. I feel like I've been rambling long enough for this to be a little episode. Yeah, so Gods, let me plug some stuff. All right. So if I could plug some things that, all right, first off, Gods is up to. Gods, we've got a busy schedule ahead of us. Athens, where you at? Athens, Georgia. We're going to be playing at the Flicker Theater with Phantom Dan. Shout out Dan. Used to be in the band with him back in the day, at last glance. Trivy and the Enemy. That's the other band, and us. That's on November 15th, 2024. Hard to get a little zoom in on that. Anyways, that will be in Athens, Georgia on November 15. Also here in town, the next day after November 15, November 16, we will be playing Culture Clash, which Culture Clash was a huge thing back when I was, 16, 17 years old, here in Charleston, South Carolina. That was the big sort of like underground kind of arts music festival, quote unquote, that kind of happened on a yearly basis. And it kind of phased out, just as things kind of do, and then it came back, and we were so honored to be included in on that. And just wow, the Culture Clash, that show is going to be a big deal. Let's do a quick shout out to some other people that are going to be on that lineup. It will be, if you can give me 2 seconds, talking about bands under the likes of bands like the Dub Plates, Erode the Dream, V-Tones, Acid Hawk, one of our favorites, good buddies, Lefty Lucy, Orange Doors, Schema, Circle Back, Invaders on Mars, Kalina, some band called CHALI2NA. Not sure how to pronounce it, I'm sorry. DJs include Cut Chemist, DJ Effect, DJ Skitch, shout out, DJ Fred Kruger, okay, Dwayne Motley, Danny Seltzer, DJ Trail Mix. A lot of DJs that I haven't heard of, surprisingly, for having been actively on the DJ scene here for 7 years. So many visual artists, like, oh my gosh, M. Jason, Briggs Leather Company, Luke Jones, 2 + 2 = 5, Greg Hart, Kara Fisher, A+. I mean, there's so many visual artists on here. Like, the art section of this festival is so heavy. There's like probably 100 here that I couldn't talk your ear off on right now. Instead, I'll include a flyer. Here I am just reading off my phone. We not only that, so we've got that. We've got Culture Clash. We've got the Athens show. We definitely have more stuff. Yeah, we're going to be playing at Chico Feo for all the Charleston, South Carolina local residents. Y'all know about Folly Beach. Y'all know about Chico Feo. It's right across from the legendary Burt's. Chico Feo, we will be playing there on Monday, October 21st starting at 7:20. We'll do about a 30-minute set. That should be really cool. We are also going to be playing for the first time at the Poorhouse, the legendary Poorhouse here in Charleston, South Carolina. That will be on November 5th, Tuesday, November 5th, 2024, the election day. We're going to be playing with Rise Against the Machine cover band. The dude from Magic Dust that plays guitar in that band, JR, he's in that Rise Against the Machine cover band. And also there's going to be an Outkast tribute band on that lineup as well. Other acts to be announced. That should be really cool. We've been wanting to play at Poorhouse for such a long time. So stay posted. So much is percolating behind the scenes, and yeah, I appreciate y'all staying in tune with me here on the Pursuit of Sound podcast. I am your host, Double Crown, aka your good friend, Philip Ward. And yeah, thanks for listening. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. The Pursuit of Sound podcast is proudly brought to you in part by our sponsor, Zest Vodka. Zest is designed for people like us who love to have a good time, but without that terrible morning after regret. Okay, Zest started with an idea to make a healthier shot option. The market's flooded with high alcohol, sugar heavy products, let's face it, promoting a culture of excessive drinking. But Zest knows we want a more genuine, transparent, and healthier choice without sacrificing taste or experience. So after Zest studied consumer preferences and existing brands, they dug deep into better ingredients. So Zest boasts proudly half the alcohol content, but don't get us wrong, significantly less sugar and 0 artificial additives commonly found in traditional shot brands. Alright, crafting Zest Vodka was not about introducing just another shot brand. It's more about sculpting an experience. You know, an indulgence-free drink that upholds the pinnacle of taste and quality. They stand to revolutionize the shot market, guiding it towards a brighter, healthier, and more transparent future. Yes, Zest Vodka. So please join us poolside, surrounded by friends, and enjoy Zest Vodka, crafted for everyone seeking a healthier choice. Drink responsibly.